Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-minute summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host. Today, we're diving into A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, published in 1996. This epic fantasy novel is the first in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, which inspired the hit TV show Game of Thrones. Let's dive into the key events and storylines so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. And stick around for a fun fact about the biggest difference between the book and the show. The novel begins in the land of Westeros, where several noble families vie for control of the Iron Throne. At the center of the story are the Starks of Winterfell. Eddard, Ned Stark, is the honorable and duty-bound head of the family, ruling over the north with his wife, Catelyn, and their children, Robb, Sansa, Arya, Bran, and Rickon, along with Ned's illegitimate son, Jon Snow. Their peaceful life is disrupted when King Robert Baratheon, Ned's old friend, arrives in Winterfell with his queen, Cersei Lannister, and their children. Robert asks Ned to become the Hand of the King after the mysterious death of the previous Hand, Jon Arryn. Despite his reservations, Ned agrees and travels to the capital, King's Landing, with his daughters Sansa and Arya. In King's Landing, Ned uncovers dangerous secrets about the Lannisters, particularly Cersei and her twin brother Jaime. He discovers that Cersei's children, including the heir to the throne, Joffrey, are actually fathered by Jaime, not Robert. This revelation sets off a chain of events that lead to political intrigue and conflict. Meanwhile, Jon Snow joins the Night's Watch, a sworn brotherhood tasked with defending the realm from the dangers beyond the Wall in the north. Jon faces challenges and discovers disturbing truths about the threats lurking in the far north, including the mythical White Walkers and the Whites. He also befriends Samwell Tarly, another recruit, and proves himself as a leader among his peers. Across the Narrow Sea, the last surviving members of the deposed Targaryen dynasty, Viserys and his sister Daenerys, plot to reclaim the Iron Throne. Viserys arranges Daenerys' marriage to Khal Drogo, the leader of a nomadic tribe called the Dothraki, in exchange for Drogo's support in taking back Westeros. Initially submissive and fearful, Daenerys gradually gains confidence and strength, eventually becoming a powerful and determined leader. She receives 3 dragon eggs as a wedding gift, which eventually hatch into dragons, symbolizing her rising power. Back in Westeros, tensions rise as multiple factions vie for power. King Robert dies in a hunting accident, and Joffrey ascends the throne, showing himself to be a cruel and unstable ruler. Despite having secured a confession under duress, Joffrey orders Ned's execution, igniting a civil war known as the War of the Five Kings. Robb Stark is declared king in the north by his bannermen and leads a rebellion against the Lannisters to avenge his father and free the north from southern rule. Meanwhile, Sansa is held captive in King's Landing, enduring Joffrey's cruelty, while Arya escapes the city and begins a perilous journey across the war-torn land. Bran Stark survives an assassination attempt, following his accidental discovery of Cersei and Jaime's incestuous relationship. After being pushed from a tower by Jaime, Bran is left paralyzed, but begins to have mysterious dreams about a three-eyed crow. Catelyn Stark, meanwhile, captures Tyrion Lannister, whom she suspects of orchestrating the attempt on Bran's life, setting off further conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters. The story also introduces us to other key characters, including Tyrion Lannister, the clever and sharp-witted dwarf, who navigates the treacherous political landscape with his intelligence and wit. Tyrion's journey takes him to the Wall, where he learns about the Night's Watch and the true threats facing the realm. The novel intricately weaves together multiple storylines, each filled with rich, complex characters and unexpected twists. Themes of power, loyalty, betrayal, and survival are explored through the lives of these characters, each striving to navigate the deadly politics of Westeros. The book's conclusion leaves readers on the edge of their seats, with many plot threads unresolved and the promise of further intrigue and conflict in the sequels. The brutal and unpredictable nature of the story, combined with its detailed world-building and deep character development, has captivated readers worldwide. One major difference between the book and the TV show is the age of the characters. In the books, many of the characters, including Jon, Daenerys, and the Stark children, are significantly younger than their TV counterparts. For instance, Daenerys is only 13 years old at the beginning of the series, compared to her older portrayal in the show. This age difference impacts the dynamics and perceptions of the characters' actions and decisions. In conclusion, A Game of Thrones is a masterful blend of political intrigue, rich characters, and epic fantasy. George R.R. Martin's intricate plotting and willingness to subvert traditional fantasy tropes make this a must-read for fans of the genre. The novel sets the stage for an epic saga that explores the complexities of power, family, and survival in a world where the stakes are life and death. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-minute summary channel. If you enjoyed this summary, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading.